Sandy Kennedy says, what is the scariest thing that has ever happened or almost happened while we're filming a video or on tour or recording? The other guys should have been really scared when we were making the video for Needing Getting and I was stunt driving. Because though I had done a lot of stunt driving training for that video, we were also driving very fast along a cliff. You can't really tell, but in the video, just because of the where the camera is located, but we're driving along the edge of a cliff where that guitar solo happens. You know, where there's an arm that comes out of the car and plays, I think it's 288 guitars along the fence. That fence is actually put up on a cliff, and I was driving, I think it was low 40s, 43 or 44 miles an hour on that stretch of the road. I had to be at a very particular speed to keep the music right. And I was always pretty worried that that was a dangerous thing to be doing. And luckily, the dudes never seemed scared at all. I was told after we made that video that the type of drifting I was doing, if I were to hit a rock going sideways, we could have flipped the car over. But it worked out. We're okay. The other automotive fear, the scariest automotive moment on tour, let's see, this was 2003 or 4, sometime around then. We were beginning a tour with They Might Be Giants. We were in Chicago, and the first show was in Salt Lake City. And we looked on MapQuest, which is what we used at the time, to see how long it would take to drive that. And it said it was 24 hours of driving. And normally we can do 10, 12 hours in a day. So we're like, that's 2 hours of driving, but we'll be nice to ourselves and give ourselves 3 full days to make that drive. 8 hours a day, nothing. That'll be simple. We got in the van, and an hour and a half outside of Chicago, we hit a snowstorm that did not stop until we got to Salt Lake 3 days later. The van was only not running for 3 out of those 72 hours. We drove straight through, and it was a complete whiteout. The only thing that was even remotely safe about what we were doing was that there were no one else stupid enough to be driving, so there was nothing to hit. But we were like maybe averaging 20 miles an hour, and we were just like creeping the entire way. And basically no one wanted to drive, so I drove almost the whole way, but everyone was too scared to sleep. So it was just like, by the time we got to Salt Lake City, all of us had been awake for 3 straight days driving in this van. And we had a spectacular show that night. You'd think that we would just have like fallen dead asleep, but it was an amazing show.